Denmark is quite similar to the Netherlands.
It's a lot similar to the Netherlands.
You can just imagine Denmark is the Netherlands, but scaled down.
It looks so much like Amsterdam, so there wasn't really anything so Denmark-y. I and some of my friends had a few days of vacation in Copenhagen, Denmark. The highlight of this trip was definitely the amusement park, where I did things I previously told myself I would never do in my life. Well, here is a bit of our experience in Denmark. We left Amsterdam airport together and arrived at the Copenhagen airport. Then we went to our hotel with public transportation. This was my first time going into a metro that is self-driven. It was a pretty interesting technology. Our hotel check-in was self-service. We entered our information and each got our key cards. Our room was actually interesting. We had bunk beds and the room was well labeled from 1 to 4, from the beds to the lockers, even to the shower. And for 4 of us, this definitely made it easier to live together. Before leaving the hotel the next day, we each got a Copenhagen city card, and this card gave us access to all transportation and as well as entrances to a lot of places like museums and the zoos. We kicked off the next day with biking around the city. Emmanuel, the guy on white sneakers, has lived in Denmark before relocating to the Netherlands, so he was able to give us a tour around the city. The biking culture here in Denmark is similar to what we have in the Netherlands, so it was pretty easy to access bikes and also use them. So we biked around the city, checked out some squares, some parks, food markets, until we got to this Little Mermaid Center. This mermaid is quite popular in Copenhagen. I recommend you browse a bit about it if you want to learn why. Then we got to the amusement park. This park is called Tivoli. There were a lot of fun things to try out here and as well scary things that my friends forced me to try out.
Anyways, we survived. What was your experience like?
It was good.
Who's good? Who's good?
For the next day, we went to the zoo. In this zoo, it was my first time seeing kangaroos, colored frogs, and penguins. But all in all, it was still a fun experience in the zoo. After the zoo, Emmanuel took us to this place called Refin. It's a street food market in Copenhagen and I recommend you try it out. There are a lot of nice foods and nice chicken and just so much delicious stuff to try out. Then we spontaneously got into a ferry. This ferry is similar to what we have in Amsterdam, which takes you across the water from one place to another place in the city for free. So we got into this one in Copenhagen and this also gave us a bit of a tour around the city. For the next day, we went to this round tour. It was a long walk to the top with some interesting spots along the way. At the top of this building, you can see so many things in the city. I have a big fear of heights, so standing on this place and even taking pictures close to the edge was a miracle. Then we took a walk to this nice park to chill for the day. It's quite interesting how during vacation you go to different countries and instead of resting, you keep walking around the country so as not to waste any bit of your holiday. Well, I guess that's because there isn't a lot of money for you to come back to the country to visit other things. After a chill time in the park, we had dinner at this nice place called Tivoli Foods. I think it's a restaurant owned by the Tivoli amusement park. I actually recommend this place. They had pretty nice food. The next day was a Monday and most of us were working during this week. So our only time to explore the country was after work. So during this week we didn't have much plans. One evening we took a walk around the city and went to this place called Museum of Illusions. They have some really interesting illusions right there and we took a lot of amazing pictures here.
I'm literally falling.
Another evening, we did a canal tour. We got some interesting views of the city as well as some history.
Es ist nicht erlaubt, die Brücken zu berühren. Bitte beachten Sie, dass die Arme innerhalb des Bootes sind.
Much of the history I can't remember, but I remember this place which I recall, CopenHill. It is a waste-to-energy facility that incinerates trash and also generates electricity and heat for the city. I even heard that other countries usually bring their trash to burn here.
Denmark is quite similar to the Netherlands actually, like in terms of architecture and I guess just the vibe in general. I really enjoyed the amusement park, Tivoli. Did some crazy things there. I don't know how I would stack it up to all the other European countries I've been to. But, so I've not visited Netherlands as a tourist, of course, but from like what I've experienced, it's not a bad place to stay, but I still think I would prefer to live in Netherlands. Actually, if I'm comparing it to like other places, in terms of the vibe, the gezellig. I think in terms of the vibe, like if I were to choose somewhere else to go, Denmark will be like on the top of the list because yeah, it's a really chill place.
I think Denmark is really chill. Like that's the vibe I've been getting. I think maybe in terms of like architecture, it's a lot similar to the Netherlands perhaps. I mean, I've only been to Copenhagen so far. It's quite similar to Amsterdam, but a lot more chill. So maybe not where you do want to go to for holiday if you're looking for something exciting, but I think if you just want to chill and relax, yeah, it's a nice place. It was my first time in an amusement park and I was literally scared to death. But yeah, the rides were like really, really nice. I still prefer the Netherlands. I've heard so much also as well about the biking infrastructure in Denmark or let's say in Copenhagen. And being here, it's still not as good as Amsterdam. Amsterdam is way better. Like I don't think anything can beat the biking infrastructure in. Yeah, it's like we're so spoiled. I think this might be a nice place to, I don't know, have like a holiday home. If you want to get away from everything, just come and chill. But if it's somewhere where I want to live, I mean, I'm not quite sure. I don't think maybe that's something I would like to do.
My favorite thing about Denmark is how calm the country can be. Comparing to Netherlands, there's not much to compare. You can just imagine Denmark is the Netherlands, but scaled down, like in terms of energy. I wouldn't mind living in Denmark again. My name is Emmanuel, and you are listening to
The Denmark trip is coming to an end. Currently at the airport, preparing for my trip back to Amsterdam. I think the most exciting part of this trip for me was Tivoli, overcoming my fears and going on those crazy roller coasters and height stuff. My first time with roller coasters was, I think, last year or last 2 years in Amsterdam. And after my experience, I told myself I was never ever gonna do that again. And here I am in Denmark, and my friends take me to this park, and I do 4 amusement stuff. Crazy. Aside that, it was nice looking around the city. It looks so much like Amsterdam, so there wasn't really anything so Denmark-y. It was really like, well, I'm used to these buildings, I'm used to these roads, I'm used to these bicycles. Of course, things are more expensive here, but I want to go back to Amsterdam. I'm tired. This place is expensive. And that was it for this vlog. I hope you found some interesting places here that you probably check out if you're ever in Copenhagen.